Sports Talk. I'm Frank Noppenberger, your host for this special show. And today we have three of our finest student athletes from East Brunswick High School. First, we have Erin Comerford. Erin is a three-sport athlete attending the University of Penn and a 3.8 GPA, something like that. Very good. First question for you, Erin, is what is the nickname of Penn? What is their mascot?
The Quakers.
Good job. Good job. We have Eric Sorkin. Eric's got a unique sports career where he's participated in 12 seasons, has earned 12 varsity letters. He will be attending the University of Delaware, and their mascot is?
The Blue Hens.
The Blue Hens. Okay, and last, certainly not least, is Kirsten Gash. Kirsten has been a winter track athlete. She's been a basketball athlete, but in the fall, she's our outstanding goalie, and she plays girls lacrosse. She's going to the University of Rhode Island, and they are the
Rams.
The Rams. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Very good. Okay, Eric, you're going to handle the first question, and the first question we want to know in the audience is, why do you participate, or what influenced you to participate in sports?
Well, I went to a cross-country meeting in 8th grade, and Mr. Murray was talking, who was the cross-country coach, and he was talking about Ryan Williams and how he's going to be the top runner next year, and it really sounded interesting, and I was always really fast when we do a half mile in elementary school in Warnsdorfer, so I figured I'd give it a shot if soccer didn't work out or something. Mm-hmm. And I ended up not even going out for soccer, and I went out for cross country, and it turned out great for me. I really loved it.
That's good. So, and you went to what elementary school?
Warnsdorfer.
Warnsdorfer, so we can get Eric Meyer a nod?
Oh, yeah.
Eric,
he was great.
Was Mr. Arnauer there too?
I had him in 1st grade.
All right, good, good. Kirst?
I started out playing soccer for the East Brunswick Soccer Club when I was very young.
You know, why?
I think it was
my parents. Did Joe make you get out there?
Yeah, my dad. And I just continued with soccer ever since. And when I got up to the high school, I wanted to try lacrosse as a freshman. I played basketball for a year, but I decided to run winter track instead.
Now, Erin, you were an outstanding soccer player, and then you switched gears. But what started you on playing soccer as a little one?
Okay, well, like Kirsten, my parents and my sister were both involved in the soccer community already. So I started to play, I think, at age 4 or so in the rec league. And actually that was what started with my running, because when I got up to playing travel soccer, my coach used to do a time 2 mile to make the team. And when I won the first 2 mile, I kind of stopped afterwards and said, I'm not the best kid on my soccer team. Maybe I should try this in the spring. So
Great.
That's how I started running.
That's good. Very good. Okay, Kirsten, you're going to Rhode Island. What are you going to major in? Why are you going to major in? And are you going to participate in sports?
I'm looking to major in animal science because I've always loved animals since I've been a little kid. Possibly take that to a vet career, but I'm not 100% sure yet. And I'm looking to participate in club sports.
Yeah, that's good. Club sports, not as much pressure. What's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal? I'd have to say just like a dog.
A dog?
I like
All the
dogs.
animals around your house,
Yeah.
and there's a dog. Good.
Yeah.
Eric?
I don't know. I'm going to the University of Delaware.
Do you know what you're going to major in?
I'm majoring in exercise science physiology.
Good job. Good.
So a lot of people are doing it this year. It's kind of the hot major to do, and it kind of is like a biology, although it's more into anatomy and the human body and stuff. And so,
You like the sciences?
yeah, I love the sciences. I'm in anatomy right now.
A lot of memorization, though.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of studying, but I love to do it and hoping to be a podiatrist like my dad.
Are you? You think you're going to run there, or what?
Yep, I'm going to run there.
Good,
It's going to
good.
be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
Good. And Erin, at Penn.
Yes, I will be running cross country and track at Penn, and I'll be studying nursing. My grandmother and my godmother are both nurses, and I grew up watching my grandmother care for my grandfather who has diabetes. So from there I kind of decided that could be a nice career for me, and
But your
I'm
mother's
excited.
a teacher. Your mother's in education.
Yeah, my mom is a teacher, but I think I'll be ready to be done with school by the time I graduate college.
I know all of you are very involved in a lot of different activities. Besides sports, Erin, what other school activities or community activities are you involved in?
Okay, well, I was the president of my church youth group, and I've been involved with youth council, Key Club, Asian Club, and Natural Helpers at the high school. and National Honor Society.
For all the people out there, what is the Key Club? You bring keys and you show everyone keys?
No, it's a community service-based club that basically just works with a lot of different other organizations in the community and help out where we're needed.
It's been around forever, I think, Key Club. That's great. Eric?
I always wanted to ask that question. But my freshman year, I did community service at my temple, tutoring kids, but I found that running all year round takes up a lot of time, if not all my time. So I've pretty much been just running all year round every year. I haven't really had much time to do anything else than work.
That's what I figured. Young lady?
I also did, with youth council and the youth group, as Erin said, do community service. And other than that, as Eric said, I don't really have that much time.
Plus studying, right?
Yeah.
And getting up early. All three of you have laid in this year?
I don't.
Did you guys thank Mr. Murphy for that idea?
Thank you.
You got to go to him tomorrow and thank him for that. You guys are outstanding athletes and students, and I'm always trying to figure out what motivates kids. What motivates you? Because that would help us when we're talking to coaches and kids. What motivates you? Who wants to go first?
I'll take it.
Go ahead. What motivates you? And is
the desire to win, to do well. I mean, running has always been something I've been good at, and when I run, I feel like everything else kind of goes away. I feel relaxed, and I feel like I don't have to worry about like my homework when I get home. I'm always motivated to just win that race and have a great time doing it. I've always loved running.
If you won the race but had a horrible time, would you feel good?
Yes, I'd still feel good.
And what about the opposite? If you didn't win the race but you had a PR?
Yeah, I'd still feel good too. It just depends on the race.
And that motivation is the same in academics? You want to get that A?
Yeah.
And where'd that come from, that desire? From the family? I mean,
my family's always told me to be very good at what you do, and I've always wanted to be very good at whatever I did. So when I tried running, and I liked how it felt. I liked that I could relax, and I'm always good at it. And so it really motivated me to keep doing better and get a better time the next time every time I ran, because it made me feel good.
Kirsten?
I have always wanted to do the best that I can do, and it would always be, if I knew I could do better, then I would always feel bad about, say, a game or...
Well, where'd that come from? Do you think it comes from the family? Does it come within?
I think it comes from the family and how you were raised to always perform as best as you could and always do your best.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask you a tough question. Would you like to be a member of a state championship club? Yes, you would love to win the states. How would you feel if you played just a little bit or not at all and your team won, or you played every down and every minute but you didn't win the state championship? What would you rather have?
I would rather have myself to play the best of my ability. So I feel that as a team, and even if I played a little bit, as long as I played to my full potential, then I would be happy with winning and doing just a little bit.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for, the team effort. Okay, Erin, what motivates you? Because you got both you two guys got the GMCs coming up Friday.
Yes.
Erin's a favorite. I hear we're holding her out on a race tomorrow or next. You're running the 2 on senior night, yes, right?
Right, I'm only doing
to
one.
get the school record. And you guys are somewhat favorites in the GMCs this Saturday. So what motivates you?
I think with running, it's kind of a unique sport because you get on the starting line and you just have to go. I always just want to win as soon as I'm in the race. I guess it's just an adrenaline rush, honestly. Like, you build up all this like pressure and all this excitement going into a race, and when you're on the starting line, that's all that you care about. So.
How about you got that same feeling in academics?
I do. I try to do the best that I can, and in both of the things, like, all I can do is my best. So at the end of the day, if I've tried my hardest, I'm still happy, even if it's not
That's the
number one.
important thing. If you did your best, if you look in the mirror, in my opinion, look in the mirror and say, I did my best, then you're successful. Specialization. Being the athletic director, I want everyone to participate in a lot of sports. What do you think of specialization? Like, you gave up soccer, Eric, right? Why did you give it up? And I mean, I know because you thought you were a good runner, but do you have any regrets about giving it up?
sometimes I think, what could I have done if I kept with soccer? But then I think to myself, running, I've always been the best at running, and when I've always beat everybody in the soccer team in the race. And soccer was my first love, but I found that running, I like running better. It just gives me more of a rush, and I feel like I'm better at it.
Erin, you would have been a varsity soccer player if you stayed with it, but then you directed all your attention to running. Do you have any regrets about that?
I don't, actually. I thoroughly enjoyed my time on the soccer team, but when I got into high school and I began to realize that I'd really like to pursue running in college, I realized that in order to compete with the competition, I had to do it, and I've never looked back since, and it's worked out great. So
What would you advice would you give a young 7th, 8th grader about that? To say, I don't know if I want to run, or I want to play soccer or lacrosse or basketball. What would you say to them?
I'd say do as many sports as you can, try as many as you can, and hopefully you find one that you excel at or that you love enough that you're willing to put a lot of energy into it. And if you reach a point where you decide that that's really what you want to do, it's okay to focus on just one sport, but up until you reach that point, it's a great idea to experiment a little.
And was that your sophomore year that you focused just on the one?
My junior year, I
Junior.
started to do cross country instead of soccer.
Now, Kirsten, you're a great all-around athlete, and you gave up basketball, which bothered me, but that's okay. What do you think? Do you think if you just concentrated just on soccer, you could have been maybe an all-state type soccer player? Do you have any regrets about that, or do you like being diversified?
I like playing my 3 sports that I do. I think it gives me an opportunity to try another sport instead of concentrating on soccer. I don't think I would have been able to do it because it's just so much soccer, and you would get like burnout over the course of doing it since 4.
I'm concerned about burnout with the high school athletes because we don't have as many trying out each year. I mean, it's consistent, but it seems, there's not as many as I would like, especially at a big school. If you could be just a fun one, if you could be a superstar in any other sport except the one you play, the one you excel in, what would it be, Erin?
For me, I'd have to go back to soccer. I always loved the sport. It's so much fun, and I guess if I could have...
Forget soccer, no, you can't play, because you could have been...
If I couldn't do soccer, I guess ice skating. I love it. I always watch it on TV.
Oh, good.
It's so much fun, and I'm not at all graceful, so that would be a great talent to have.
Good. My man, Eric, I know what you're going to do. You're going to say basketball.
Exactly.
And every guy says the same thing. I love it.
Just because I was raised in EB, and basketball is big in EB, and you don't get the people that come to a track meet are the parents, and you get like 5 people come to a track meet. The whole Bear Den comes to the basketball game, and you really get the excitement, and you really get a huge rush out of it. So it'd probably be basketball.
And what would you play, guard or post?
Probably be guard.
Okay, young lady.
I've always wanted to play football. just because it's kind of it's off limits to girls, and through the powder puff with the high school activities, I've always enjoyed that. So I'd always wanted to play football.
What position?
Probably running back.
Running back.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Kirsten, you're going to leave here in a month or so as an athlete. How do you want to be remembered as an athlete?
I would like to be remembered as a team player and someone who would always try their best and would always look to win, but if we didn't, always turn to the fact that you had fun during your season or during the game. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I agree. Erin?
I definitely want to be remembered as someone who really led by example in practices. I want to be remembered as someone who worked really hard and didn't goof off at practice, and also just someone who was encouraging to everyone on the team, hopefully someone that was always patting their teammates on the back after a race and always someone open to talk to.
Working hard at practice. Now, you got to help me with this.
Okay.
Basketball practice is fun because a lot of the time you're scrimmaging. Soccer, your scrimmage is fun. Lacrosse, scrimmaging, it's fun. But tell me how you get motivated and up for every track workout. Erin, you go first.
It's definitely tedious, but I think that your teammates are really important to that, because when you get into a practice, maybe there's not the same level of competition as within a race, but you know that from racing where you kind of fall into line with your teammates. So you want to, like if you're number one on the team, you want to be able to lead the practice and really show everyone how they're supposed to be pacing themselves. And I don't think you really want to fall behind in practice, because then you know you're going to fall behind in your next meet too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, every day. I mean, like one day you run quarters, maybe then you run speed work, then distance work. I mean,
Well, that's what makes it exciting. You never know what you're going to get sometimes. And I mean, it's what you love to do. I love to go out there and run every day. And sometimes on like a long distance run, it'll get boring. But that's when the team chemistry comes in and you have fun with it. You do all kinds of fun stuff on runs, if it's an easy run, or it's just a variety every day. And it's what I love to do.
you can converse during most of the distance
during most
right?
runs,
You
yeah.
bust on one another and stuff.
Mhm.
So how do you want to be remembered, Eric?
I want to be remembered as one of the hardest workers to ever come through East Brunswick,
Mhm.
because I put my butt on the line every day of practice, and I work very hard, and I want to be remembered as a big team leader and who someone would run harder with, knowing that I'm there screaming at them during a race.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think all three of you are role models for the younger kids, and I know you've been at my captain's meetings every year and every season. I tell you that, and you may not believe it, but I'm telling you, the young ones look up to you, and you three guys are always the prime example of what you want the upperclassmen to be like when they get there. So I'm sure you've influenced the young ones, and in 3 or 4 years, someone's going to say, yeah, I remember Kirsten Gash, boy, she was my role model, you know. All right. I'm big on perception, sportsmanship, and, you know, how we are out there. How do you think the East Brunswick athlete is perceived? Okay, being a guy that competed across the street, you know, disliked East Brunswick immensely, and I don't get a lot of love from the other schools. What do you think, Kirst? How are we perceived and why?
I think because of our reputation with athletics.
Which
we've always been very good at the sports, and usually all the sports we've had successful seasons and we've done very well. I feel that some of the other schools, they respect us as athletes, but they also always want to beat us, and it's always a rivalry.
It's the big game for them.
Mm-hmm.
Eric?
I think all you have to do is look on a wall in the gym and see the sportsmanship award, and you'll see that we win the sportsmanship award a lot of times in our cross-country team. After every single meet, we warm down and we go over as a team and shake the other team's hand, and I think it really makes a big influence on them, because they look at us, and win, lose, it's always the same. We're always great at after the race and what we do.
Do you think the other team gets up for us no matter what the sport is?
I think so.
Yeah. And why is that?
Because we're a great team. We have great teams. We're great competitors, and we're even better sportsmanship.
Yeah.
So,
Erin?
I think that we're definitely the team to beat. If you go into another school's locker room and see a newspaper clipping of your team on their bulletin board as motivation for their team, that's when you kind of realize that
Good point.
a lot of schools do see us as their main competition and have rivalries with us. But I think that we never lower ourselves to a level where we disrespect our school or hurt our image. I
agree. I don't think we have. I see it as we're always consistent. We may be down a little bit this year in a sport, but you can't just come into East Brunswick and just think you got an easy one. It's not going to happen. You always got to play well to beat East Brunswick. That's my perception anyway. Speaking of sportsmanship in the manor, you're the first three to know publicly we're the GMC Red Division champion for all sports this year. So we're going to have another banner in the gym for the what are we in? 0607 school year. Well, it counts last spring too, but so congratulations to you guys for helping with that. Professional athletes and role models. I'm big on that. As a matter of fact, I believe in Derek Jeter in saying that you should have a lot of role models. Maybe take a little from one person and a little from another person. So the question to you, and it's no right or wrong answer, Kirsten, should professional athletes be role models?
I think they should, because I think professional athletes show a lot of hard work to get to where they've been. They have to play their sport for a number of years. They might have even started when they were 4 or 5, so they have to work their whole life to get there, and I think they should be role models.
Who's your role model?
Mine, I would have to say Heather O'Reilly,
Really?
just because she did graduate from East Brunswick, and usually you're not that close with professional athletes, and it's not like they don't usually graduate from your high school. And being 4 years younger than her, I've had a chance to see her through the soccer team and through all her goals. So I really admire Heather O'Reilly.
She's got a great work ethic.
Yeah.
I mean, and she'll tell you, I mean, she's blessed with speed, but her talent has all been developed, and she's got an outstanding work ethic. Eric?
Well, just like the little kids look up to us, I think we as all athletes look up to the best in the sport. And the professional athletes are definitely role models because everybody looks up to them. And my role model would be Steve Prefontaine, even though he's dead. But because he looked at everybody and said, I am the best every single race. And he mentally prepared himself every race and said, I'm going to win this race every single time. And that's what I strive to do every time I get on the line.
For the people who don't know, give us a little quick biography about
Steve Prefontaine was from Oregon. He went to University of Oregon, and he became like an American phenomenon, and he broke every record from 2,000 to 10,000 meters in his time, and he died in 1972 in a car accident, way too young.
I remember about him his confidence. Think he was confident?
Very confident.
Very confident.
Very confident.
And I think you need to be that as an athlete?
Yeah, you definitely need some of that. Maybe not to his caliber, where he thought I'm better than anybody else every single time, but you definitely need confidence.
Are you confident, Kirst?
Yes.
You are?
Mm-hmm. Not to an extreme level, but you always have to believe in yourself when you're going into a game.
So when you're saving that penalty kick, there's no doubt in your mind you're going to save that?
No.
No?
No, you have to always strive to, like with a penalty kick, you have to always strive and think, I'm going to get that, I'm going to get that. Because if you don't, then if you have any doubt in your mind that you're not going to get it, you most likely won't.
Right. Erin, we're going to ask you about the role model, but quiet confidence, I think you have quiet confidence. But if the kid next to you, you know they've been running 30 seconds better than you every race, and you know, like the girl from, where is she from, Jackson? How do you get psyched for that, and how can you get the confidence that you're going to beat her?
I love that. All of my best times come from races when I was on the line next to someone that I knew was better than me. You can't necessarily always beat someone that's running a minute faster than you, but if you just pick your head up during the race and stare at their back and keep running towards them, a great thing can happen. And that happens to me every year. At States, I get my best time just because I'm with great competition, and I want to stay as close to them as I can because you know they're the best.
And what do? You just stay on their heels and...
Yep. You stay with them as long as you can and try not to give up.
Right. For the track people, you're a track person too, Kirsten. Do you hear the coach when you're running your hardest and he or she is trying to encourage you? Do you hear the coach?
To an extent, yeah. When you're going around the track, and if you're running a long race, like a mile or 2 mile, you definitely hear them screaming your splits or how you're running or whatever. But during a quick race, you really kind of blank out.
Tell me though, Eric, and the coach won't see it till you graduate. When he's telling you, come on, Eric, what are you saying in your mind?
In my mind, I'm probably saying, I'm running as hard as I possibly can, and it's almost over.
All right, Erin, professional athletes, role models?
I think that they should be a role model as long as they are acting respectably. I think that the second that they get involved with steroids or are doing things that would hurt their team's name, I think that then they can't be a role model. But as long as they are working as hard as they can at their sport and staying clean, they definitely should be.
Do you have a role model?
I do. This has been my role model probably since 4th grade, and it's...
Me?
Of course, it's you. The moment I saw you, I knew
Right.
you were the one. Actually, Michelle Akers, she was a soccer player, and she was alongside Mia Hamm on the national team, and she was never quite the headline kind of girl, but she had chronic fatigue syndrome, and she worked so hard every single game that she would pass out, and I think
great.
that's kind of my goal.
To what,
To work as hard as you can until you collapse.
Oh, good. Favorite athlete and why? Kirst, do you have a favorite athlete? Or did I just ask you that?
I think you just asked that.
Yeah. All right, in 10 years, Kirsten, where do you want to be? Doing what?
I
10
hope
years.
To either, depending upon how college goes, like either going into vet school or starting working, and I hope to be settling down, possibly starting a family.
Ooh, gotta check with Job on that one.
In 10 years, I'll probably want to be in a residency program for a podiatrist.
Still be going to school in 10 years?
Probably, if I want to keep going with that. But maybe start a family, maybe run a few marathons here and
Yeah,
there,
good.
and just be having fun.
Like Eric, I would like to be doing some marathons or being a part of a running club. I also hopefully will be working as a nurse and maybe doing something in AIDS research because that really interests me,
very
and
good.
I can use nursing as a way to get into that.
Very good. Okay, the last question, and I'm going to give it to you, and you got to think it a minute. Your fondest memory of your athletic career. All right, that's a tough one because you've had so many, and whatever you say is right. And don't, okay? I'm looking for volunteers. Who wants to go first?
Mine came.
Okay.
Oh, did you go for it? Did you get it?
Okay, yeah. Mine would have to be this past soccer season, my senior soccer season, when we won the GMCs. We have been winning GMCs all 4 of my years with the high school, and I think that this senior year was more important to me because it was our year, and we played against a team that we had friends on, and we used to play soccer with them. So it was felt more important to us because it was our year.
And a lot of pressure to win, right?
Yeah.
2 memories come to mind. Penn relays, which is one of the
Great
biggest
thrill,
track meets of the year for any runner, professional or amateur. And our 4x800 meter team ran 7:51 and qualified for the Championship of America.
Right.
And we came back the next day and we broke a school record.
Right, right.
The other one would be in the 4x1600 meters, which is a 4x-mile relay. We ran 17:51 and qualified for nationals. And going to nationals was an experience.
Good.
It was a lot of fun.
Yep, I remember that. Good.
Okay, that's kind of a tough act to follow, but my favorite memory would be my sophomore year. I was on the school's distance medley relay team along with Megan Donovan, Brittany Hahn, and Vicky Krupnick, and we broke the school record, and that was really important for me because I was the youngest member of the team, and I really was just trying so hard to do my part so that they could get it, knowing it was their last opportunity for it. And when we finally got the school record and won counties, it was just such a great feeling.
Great. Well, we're running out of time. I want to thank you guys for coming, but more importantly, I want to thank you for everything you've done for East Brunswick High School and the athletic department, and wish you the best of luck in the upcoming tournaments and next year.
Thank you.